The meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners is called to order in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the Press of Atlantic City and mailed to the Current and the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, the Stillwater building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Meigs Landing. Prior to our opening prayer, I'd like to ask that we keep the family of former Councilwoman Rosalie Baker of Bunaboro in our thoughts and prayers, and that we take a moment of silence to reflect on an incredible life of service, not only as a public servant, but as a teacher and lifelong volunteer within our community. She was a role model to us all. We have a
God of all nations and people, grant us the knowledge and compassion to wisely execute the duties of our office. We ask, O God, that you bless our nation and this world with peaceful solutions in all controversy. Amen.
Amen.
stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, have a roll call.
Chairwoman, Commissioner Dace will not be here tonight. He just hang the phone up, but I just want to. Ballas,
Here.
Cortino,
Here.
Horsey,
Present.
Fitzpatrick,
Here.
Gatto,
Here.
Parker,
Here.
Risley,
Here.
and Kern.
Here, motion carries. Commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes from September 6, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the September 6, 2022 minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Ballas. No, I heard it come. Okay, we'll call the roll.
Ballas,
Yes.
Cortino,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay, anyone in person that would like to speak during public comments, please come to the podium, state your name and the town you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you're attending virtually, please type yes and the resolution number in the question and answer box, and you can do that at any time. Any items not listed on the agenda, you may speak during public comments. You'll be raised from an attendee to a panelist. When you're raised, please state your name and the town that you reside. Okay, and that brings us right into our resolutions, with resolution 508.
Grant acceptance from the National Association of County and City Health Officials for the Medical Reserve Corps COVID-19 Respond, Innovate, Sustain, and Equip Award. Amount not to exceed $50,000.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Fitzpatrick.
Can I make?
Yeah, just say any commissioner comments?
Just I just want to quickly highlight, it was presented to us at the budget subcommittee yesterday morning. This is a new grant for the county, and it's a good thing our Department of Public Health sought this out. And they educated us a little bit on the Medical Reserve Corps and how much they have been deployed through the pandemic, and how valuable they've been and how much they are going to continue to use that group, which is a group of volunteers, mostly medical professionals, first responders, used in a variety of ways. And I think it's a really good thing that we have. I don't think it necessarily got any, floor time in the past, because it wasn't used as widely, but I did want to make a recommendation that, we potentially bring in some of the Medical Reserve Corps volunteers and recognize them for their efforts through the pandemic and continuing on. So I just wanted to highlight the new grant and the work that this group's doing.
Yeah, I remember seeing them when quite a few of them when we opened the center out by with Stockton. And there was a number that they travel throughout the country, and it's pretty nice what they do. So Thank you very much for bringing that to our attention. Any other comments from the commissioners?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's great that they're still giving money for COVID, even though the president says the pandemic is over.
Amazing.
Hopefully it'll continue.
Any other comments from the commissioners?
I would just say that the money is to help recover from the shutdown.
Thank you. Anything from the public? Seeing none, have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes,
Gatto?
Yes,
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carried. I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt resolution number 509, 510, chapter 159.
So moved.
second.
Moved by Commissioner Ballas and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
yes,
Gatto?
Yes,
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern?
Yes, motion carries. That brings us to our professional service agreements with resolution 511.
Amending resolution number 92 adopted March 1st, 2022, a professional services agreement with McElroy, Deutsch, Mulvaney, and Carpenter Limited Liability Company to increase the contract cost amount for legal services. Amount not to exceed $500,000.
motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Bertino. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair. We did discuss this as well. This is an increase of about 50,000 to what we originally passed. It is budgeted, by the way. But I think everybody knows that we as a county have been fighting diligently against the pilot 2.0 that came up. We've been successful in court. However, there continues to be a number of appeals to that, and that's part of the reason for the added cost. And I do know that our legal counsel is here from the county. I don't know if you want him to add any additional comment there.
Mr. Ferguson, do you have any additional comments?
Just that, you know, the state of New Jersey is fighting at every turn. They've lost every time we've been to court. The only thing they've been successful on was the stay that was granted to them by Judge Blee. And if you look closely at the court rules, they were legally entitled to that stay that they got, the last one. The matter now proceeds to the appellate court. There's a possibility that we will ask in an application to the state Supreme Court to see if the state Supreme Court will take direct certification of the matter. The thought process being the following. The appellate court process in the appellate division is likely to consume at least 12 months, maybe as much as 18 months. It seems obvious based on where both sides are at this point that whoever loses in the appellate division is going to look to go to the state Supreme Court in any event. You get to the state Supreme Court one of two ways. If the matter in the appellate division results in a split decision, a 2-to-1 decision where there's a dissenting opinion, then the losing party has an automatic right of appeal to the state Supreme Court. The other way you get there is by filing what's called a petition for certification, in which you're asking the court to take the case because it presents a matter of some significant public importance. It's discretionary. The court doesn't have to take the case. What we'll also look to do is our case, we will look to consolidate that case with the case that was brought by Mr. Grossman on behalf of the Liberty and Prosperity Group, because that's a decision. We did not challenge the constitutionality of the new amendments. We challenged it on the basis that those new amendments violated our consent order from 2018. It was much narrower. Liberty and Prosperity, we didn't have the right to challenge the constitutionality of the original act because when we settled the lawsuit originally, that lawsuit under the consent order was dismissed with prejudice. Mr. Grossman's matter was dismissed without prejudice just because of the different circumstances that were involved in that case versus our case. But with Judge Blee's ruling that the 2021 amendments are unconstitutional, that brings another whole element into this. And if we consolidate the two matters, we believe that it definitely is a matter of public importance. And we would ask, perhaps even get the state attorney to go along with it and make a joint application, because whoever loses in the appellate division will look to go to the state Supreme Court anyway. And our thought process is, why expend between 12 and 18 months and the additional legal fees that will be involved when we can go right to the top, and hopefully that court will take the case and we'll dispose of it. And then we'll know once and for all, either we're right or the state's right. I happen to believe that we're right for reasons that I've already talked about. So that's where we are.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any other comments from the commissioners? Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Rutino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 512, please.
Professional services agreement with 84 Lumber Company for the purchase of lumber supplies under the National County Purchasing Alliance contract, amount not to exceed $150,000.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Bertino. Any comments from the commissioners? Hearing none, anything? I'm mumbling, it says, no. Okay, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Rutino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 513.
Memorandum of Agreement with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, AFL-CIO, Nurse Supervisors, and authorizing a formal written collective bargaining agreement incorporating the terms of the MOA for a 4-year period commencing January 1, 2022.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Ernest Corsi and seconded by Commissioner Gatto.
I notice every time I make a motion, you can't remember my name. I think you have a little memory over there. I'm gonna start calling Orsi move.
Well, it's usually, like, two people usually get it going the whole time.
It's normally Amy.
Yeah. To waste no time. Any commissioner comments? Okay, seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, well, roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That brings us to big contracts with Resolution 514.
Bid contract with Holman Commercial Vehicles Limited Liability Company to furnish and deliver one 2022 or newer cargo van, amount not to exceed $58,374.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, well, roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to Resolution 515.
Bid contract with Proline Collision Incorporated for body and fender repairs to Atlantic County vehicles, light passenger vehicles, amount not to exceed $35,000.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Rutino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 516.
Bid contract with Core Mechanical Incorporated to provide preventative maintenance and emergency repairs on Atlantic County chillers, amount not to exceed $71,600.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair, through you
Yes.
to Jerry, on a different note. How are we making out with the Atlantic County building? I remember they were putting a new unit on the roof. Is that completed?
No, the work isn't completed yet. They're pretty close. They're balancing the system now, and I think that puts some more dampers in, and there's a few more other pieces that go on the first floor. But other than that, the boilers are in, chillers are in, so we're close.
Do you think you,
They have to be able to turn the heat on, I think, October the 15th. So the boilers are in, so I
That's what I was getting to. So I wanted to make sure you at least you have heat by then. Either it's too hot or it's too cold. I'm having the same problem across the street, but it's either too hot or too cold. So I noticed there was still some trailers out there. I didn't know if they were actually completed the job.
Close, very close.
Close. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner
Madam
Bell.
Chair, yes. Through you to Jerry. Jerry, out of this 71,000, is any of this have to do with the plan we were talking about? The energy plan, any of the chillers involved there?
Well, what happens is, yeah, so what will happen is anything that we have planned for the year, Chris is meeting with that's why we wrote the other additional email yesterday. So anything you heard that anybody will hear that Chris is doing for the year, Chris is going to sit down with its DCO as the company. And he will go through with them what he has already budgeted and is prepared to go to bid for. Then they will take it off of their list. So and then this money would go in. So for example, you saw with the $33 million. So it will be the $33 million for these particular chillers that would come off of the top there.
Right, we're not doing maintenance on chillers that are gonna get replaced.
No, we're not.
Okay,
And Madam Chair, if I could just
The
add
other
to that.
thing is, it is emergency repair.
Yeah.
So until that project gets started, in the meantime, we have a chiller that goes down, breaks down.
How's he
Still
behind the
need
wall?
to have it operational in that facility until it can get replaced.
That's a C.
right.
That's where he sits.
Yeah.
But we're coming, I mean, we're,
It's like a scan.
as of next Friday, you know, the temperature's pretty much gonna be down in the 70s, and,
Yeah.
you know, to
this
do an
project-
emergency job on a chiller that you're gonna shut off October 15th, I don't see that really necessary.
This contract's for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just.
All right.
When we get into the spring and next summer, that larger project is not gonna be started by then.
All right, I just don't want to see us moving forward on anything now that's going to be replaced, if that plan goes through that we talked
Now,
about.
these are all existing stuff we have to place.
Okay. Perfect.
And Madam Chair, if I can just add to that, so this is only a 1-year contract,
Yeah.
Frank, and as opposed, in years past, we've done 2-year duration. This is one with a renewal if we need it. So just a little bit of a different approach.
Totally clear with that. I just
Okay.
don't want to see us spending money on something that we're
Yeah,
going
I
to replace.
but I want to highlight, we are doing something different because of what we're doing.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
all
Commissioner
due
Ford?
respect, next time he's speaking, I need to see him in here. No disrespect, they can see you, I can't. And I know that's where you like to sit, but I like to see you and hear you when you're talking.
We were saying the same thing yesterday at the subcommittee meeting.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll move on over here.
All right, with
I already
that,
told you I wasn't gonna be there. But if I had been there, you'd still be there now.
any further comments from our commissioners? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Pino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes,
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That's resolution 517.
Amending resolution number 544 adopted October 5th, 2021, a consent to assignment agreement with South Jersey Transportation Authority and Jamal's Atlantic City Limited Liability Company concerning the county's lease for a portion of the property located at the New York Avenue parking garage, with payment being made to the management company, Joyce Parking Limited Liability Company, amount not to exceed $209,250.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair, through you to Jerry. So when the South Jersey, just for my edification, South Jersey Transportation Authority sold a garage.
Yeah.
And I believe Chiesa, whoever the car dealership
Yeah.
brought it.
Yeah.
You don't think it was in our best interest to buy that garage? I mean, it's water under the bridge now, but when you keep looking at these things, I mean, maybe we should have bought the
We
garage.
looked at
talked
it,
about
we didn't think it was a good,
You
we
didn't?
didn't think it was a good fit for us now.
So every year, we're gonna give them this kind of money. I think they wound up selling it for about $5 million. I mean, I get your point, it wasn't worth it, but at some point, we just put some money out there,
Agree.
Right.
Agree.
with no
We
return
looked
on
at
it.
it. Yeah, we looked at it. But it wasn't, we just didn't think it was a good fit for us. I mean, I mean, we've looked at moving out of Atlantic City, you've heard that before.
Correct.
And so we still look at that. We're still looking at those opportunities for us.
How many,
I always,
sorry, go ahead. Thought you were finished.
and with all due respect, the reason I asked that question, I remember we were kind of like throwing money away for One Stop, and we decided we were gonna buy the One Stop building on Main Street many years ago, because we went through that whole spill, which wound up being in our best interest, and then we wound up renting space to the
To the
state.
state, correct.
Correct. And I didn't know if this could have been that kind of deal. Again, it really doesn't matter because it's already sold. I'm just looking at the price we're gonna be paying out, renting space for jury duties and et cetera. Any employees parking in there is just for?
Yes, we do, yeah. You see it's a 3-year contract, and yes.
Okay.
It's.
How many employees do we actually have parking in there? Any?
I believe there's about close to 80 to 100. I'm not sure all of them participate.
Mhm.
I think it talks about the contract. We say 75 parking spaces.
Yes.
And Diana every once in a while tells me that, more people park there and they have been charging, so, but I'm not sure they all park there. I mean, Diana is on, she could probably tell better than I do because she hears the numbers, but the truth of the matter is that's what parks there now. It used to be, jurors used to be able to park there, but now we rent the lot
Of the lot.
across the street from the civil courthouse. So they made provisions for people that are impaneled to park there. Jurors that are not impaneled can still park at New York Avenue.
So even on that note, I don't want to belabor it, which I'm glad you put that point out. We still have county employees parking in the city's parking lot, but now they're getting very smart. They're parking at meters. So once they get the ticket, that's on them. I don't know why they don't park where they are designated to park, but we've chased out a number of county cars. There's only 3 or 4 spots in that parking lot for county employees. One being the county exec, the office, prosecutor's office, the mailroom, and one other. But we still got a couple of them in there, so when they call you, they got a ticket,
Right.
they got a ticket.
Right.
Or they're gonna get towed in the ticket. But the fact of the matter is, since they have the garage, they don't wanna go around that corner.
I mean, I don't want to belabor New York Avenue, but New York Avenue has its own little issues. So, and I know people that work at that location that are, you can't be there by yourself.
Agreed.
At certain times of the day, there's a lot of drug use up and down those 2 streets in between or something.
Sorry for belaboring the point. I just wonder, I'm just trying to figure out how we not waste this kind of money.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
No.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Under protest, yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 518.
Amending Resolution Number 414 adopted July 19, 2022, an EUS contract with Insurance Agencies Incorporated to obtain flood insurance for county-owned real and personal property at various county property. Corrected amount $15,646.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, second by Commissioner Risley. Any comments from our commissioners? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 519, please.
Cooperative bid contract with Constellation New Energy to purchase electricity for Atlantic County facilities. Amount not to exceed $526,813.61.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Ballas and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any comments from our commissioners? Seeing hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Bertino,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
and Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 520.
Interlocal services agreement with Atlantic Cape Community College for the provision of workers in sustainable energy program and get into energy program. Amount not to exceed $60,830.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? I didn't hear you. Any commissioner comments? Hearing seeing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Bertino.
Yes.
Corsi.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Risley.
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, and as we go into resolution 522,
521.
521.
Resolution authorizing the expansion of the Atlantic County Workforce Development Board's membership complement from 32 to 36.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto and seconded by Commissioner Risley. And I'm actually going to ask Commissioner Gatto if you have any additional comments to add before we take a vote on this resolution. It goes without saying that the work of the Atlantic County Workforce Development Board is vital to the community, and appreciate everything that they do.
Yeah, and the board members do a really great job. We have a good board, a good makeup, and we do have an obligation to keep the balance at 51% private to public entities as members. So given the makeup that we have right now of active members, we would require to a shift, which is why we are asking for the increase in members. So that we can meet that obligation. And I believe we do actually have several interested people in also participating some more. So that's the reason.
Any other comments by our commissioners? Yeah, they do a great job. And it's
Yeah.
definitely very important. Okay, anything from the public? Okay, we'll go for roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Bertino.
Yes.
Corsi.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Risley.
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That brings us to resolution 522.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness for the federal fiscal year 22 Federal Homeland Security Program grant. Amount not to exceed $237,755.35.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Balance and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas.
Yes.
Bertino.
Yes.
Corsi.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Risley.
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. It goes to resolution 523.
Governing body certification of the annual audit.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Risley and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. And I just want to say is we're all required to have familiarized ourselves with the annual audit. I would ask if Jerry could provide a quick synopsis for the general public who are attending today's meeting. We greatly appreciate the work undertaken by yourself and your staff, Bonnie, and everyone in complying with the audit each year. So thank you so
Sure.
much.
So you have the county treasurer, Bonnie's here, and Warren and from the auditing team.
Mhm.
So let Bonnie start.
Anybody want to, just a quick synopsis, I mean, we've all had.
Well, I mean, it was an excellent audit this year. The Mercadian did the audit. There were no findings or recommendations for calendar year 2021 audit. Our surplus was renewed. We were able to grow our surplus back to levels similar to the prior year. Debt service is in a good place. We're in a place where we can, our percentage is low enough to the point where we can still continue to borrow as needed for capital projects. And that's all I can think of. Warren, is there anything that you would want to add?
Yes, Bonnie. Good afternoon, everyone. I would say you had an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level of assurance you can get in an audit. So there were no adjustments during the course of the audit. And, we got a great cooperation from management and staff. I want to thank them. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Any comments from our commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas.
Yes.
Bertino.
Yes.
Corsi.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Risley.
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to appointments with Resolution 524.
Appointment of Bruce K. DeShields to the Atlantic County Emergency Management Advisory Board for a term to expire May 1, 2023.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Corsi and seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Ballas.
Yeah, just a question, I guess to Jerry. Jerry, is this, the person or the position of chief?
My understanding it is the position. It's the position, it's not necessarily,
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
they're mandated slots.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Yeah, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Risley?
Yes.
And Kern.
Yes, motion carries. That concludes the written portion of our agenda. Any special committees of the board? Any comments?
I have a couple of things from NJAC. Is that where that goes? So I attended the New Jersey Association of Counties meeting last Friday and left my notes on my desk. So from my memory of interest here in Atlantic County, $15 million, I believe, has been allocated in the state budget for a new program concerning maternal mortality. And as you know, in Atlantic City, we have a really high percentage, higher than the state, higher than the rest of the country. And Atlantic Care is going to be part of that pilot program. My question was, how are we letting clients know about the program? I didn't really get an answer to that, so I, hopefully that will be part of the program to not just tell the professionals about it, but let people ask for help if they feel they need it. And additionally, Workforce Development has a new program for chronically unemployed folks where their wages will be reimbursed to employers 100%. So I would spread the word about that. It's, folks who have a hard time haven't been able to stay employed. This is a really good opportunity for employers to take a chance because there's no loss. There's no chance of a loss for them. It can only do a good thing. That's about it.
Yeah, no, great information. Thank you, Commissioner. Any other reports from special committees? Okay, seeing, hearing none. Any unfinished business? Okay, seeing, hearing none. Any new business? Moving right along. Some of us may have received copies of written communication petitions. Do any commissioner have any comments about anything they may have received?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
Through you to Jerry, once again, for the record, apparently there was an issue at the county, or at least alleged county jail, and the family kept calling Jerry, and the county exec spoke to the family, so there was a lot of stuff in the community. People wasn't getting back. Jerry was on it right away. With the warden, didn't go into all the particulars. There was some stuff in the community, but they wasn't getting communication, wasn't getting callbacks. Called Jerry, they were already on it. So whatever the outcome is going to be, is going to be the outcome. But in case somebody would have heard it in the street, Jerry was right on it.
Just so you know, if you call me, the director for investigations made the initial phone call to the family. But after you call me, Mike Kelly, the warden, Mike made a personal phone call to them and went through everything again with them, and they were very appreciative of Mike. He did a real good job.
It's good communications, because you hear one story, then you get the other side of the story, and folks in car, they just want to answer it. Like I said, I can talk about Jerry because Jerry was reading it. So
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Jerry. Any other? Yes.
Madam Chair? Yeah. Jerry, again, from the fire departments in Egg Harbor Township.
Yeah.
Reference to the beacon lights. I've been able to, hold them off and tell them it was being taken care of.
Right.
Because of the, work stoppage over in Ventnor, Margate, Longport, which frees up our, what you told me frees up our engineers so they can get on that. Now the work has started back up again over there on the traffic signals.
I think the specs are done, Commissioner.
It shouldn't be that hard of it's a couple amber lights.
Well, I believe there are 18 signals, and each one is different. They have to design the signal. They got to design the location. I mean,
They're gonna be solar, correct? Solar powered signals?
yes, but you still have to have you have to do the design, you have to specify exactly what you want in terms of the equipment area. I mean, believe me, I used to say the same thing. So I sat down with those guys and have to go through the materials with them when they handed it and read it. I'm only telling you, it's lengthy. And by the way.
So they are moving on it?
Oh, yeah, I think
Okay.
the specs are done.
Okay, because I get the phone calls from these guys all the time and it gets annoying. You know?
Well, I
because
mean,
we-
they should be calling, they actually should be calling the county engineer, brand new engineer, the county department head, that's who I would be calling. And if they're not happy, they should call me. And I don't disagree with you. I do need to tell you though, the gentleman who, his name is Ali Match, he's the engineer, he was the one doing the design. But I gotta tell you, this summer was absolutely brutal. You know, the towns, and I got that, I understand, because we do this for every single town. You shut down in the summertime because you do not want to interfere with traffic.
Of course.
But I can tell you this, all summer long, he was on the horn every day, because I was on the horn every other day with the towns. They were unhappy that we shut down. They didn't like the bumps. I can give you like 3 or 4 streets, Melbourne, Clarendon, I mean, I'll give you the streets. So they were unhappy. So now he has to go back to the contractor, get the contractor back out there to mill it out and then level it off. And so now you level it off, and then you get 2 or 3 other people see you leveling off, you know, on Melbourne. They want it done, you know, hit Portland. I'm just telling you, I'm just telling you, it has to be brutal. And everybody knew that we were shut down. Everybody knew that this is going to start up again, and we would take care of all those issues. But I don't know what to think. But yeah, my understanding is the specs are done. So I mean, they now got to be reviewed, and then they have to go to purchasing.
So that's the next,
Yes.
that's the next step.
That's the next step.
They gotta review them and then it's
And
going.
gotta go to purchasing,
Purchasing.
purchasing reviews from the purchasing side. They add on their materials, they have to advertise, and then we go out to bid.
So what kind of time frame should I tell these guys?
Frank, keep
I would
pushing.
say at least 3 months or so.
At least three more
At least
months?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, as long as I got something to tell
Right,
Frank,
right.
them, you know?
Commissioner-
I was able to get through the summer,
Yeah, right,
but,
right.
you know, now summer's over and, you know, they're still asking.
Right.
All right,
Commissioner Ballas, these signals are gonna become your bike racks.
they already are.
Yes.
They already are. And I can transfer them to you if you want me to.
Do we have any questions from our commissioners on this?
Okay.
We'll now open the public comments portion. Anyone in person that would like to speak during the public comments, please come to the podium, state your name and the town you reside. You'll be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you're attending virtually, please type yes in the question and answer box. You'll be raised from an attendee to a panelist. When you're raised, please state your name and the town that you reside.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is County Prosecutor Reynolds. Can I be recognized, please?
Absolutely, prosecutor.
Awesome.
Nice to
Thank
have
you.
you.
So, thank you. I've been on
Turn
from
it
the
up.
beginning. Can you hear me?
We're trying to turn you up a little bit, slow.
Okay, let me get off the
you're
Bluetooth
good.
zone. I'm
You're
good?
good.
Okay,
You're good.
awesome. All right, so first and foremost, thank you so much. I received the invite this afternoon, and it was regarding the vehicle for the $58,000 expenditure. Commissioner Gatto brought me up to speed yesterday on the process. I was briefed on the issue of the vehicle, and I wanted to explain to the public what that vehicle was for. And I have some other information regarding the issue Mr. Corsi raised at the jail. So first and foremost, I don't know if everyone saw it, but I've been advocating statewide for a mental health court. I've been advocating for that based upon my personal experience as a municipal prosecutor, now being in the county prosecutor's seat for over 90 days. There is a need for it. There's a blind spot in the criminal justice system. There's so many people that go through a revolving door through our county jail and through state prison that have mental health issues that need treatment, not incarceration. We are getting traction on that. Senator Palestina and our assembly team, Guardian and Swift, are working with the Office of Legislative Services to actually get a proposal to the legislature actually when the session begins. There's also another draft that's pending up from Senator Ruiz in Essex County that they're working in conjunction with that senator. I can tell you, based upon the feedback I got, we are getting traction, and it's being picked up not only by local media but statewide, and public broadcasting service. PBS has picked it up as well and is pushing it out because there's really a need in New Jersey. That's first and foremost, and I would appreciate all of your support on that. I think it would be great for the community to be able to serve our citizens better. I think there's a severe mental health issue, especially after COVID, with some of the people who are committing, the multiple and repeated crimes. A lot of them just need help. They're crying out for help. I see them on the boardwalk when I'm out there at 6 o'clock in the morning with them. I can tell you that there's a underserved population that needs our help. So that's first and foremost. Segueing into the vehicle, the reason why we needed the vehicle and the reason why the expenditure was requested is that's going to be for the crisis negotiation team, which fits into the mental health piece. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but we had a situation in Summers Point a few weeks back where a woman was going to be evicted from one of the motel rooms. She barricaded herself in. There was threats of harming herself or maybe even suicide, and that was really a mental health issue. This crisis vehicle would be for the negotiators to actually be able to, one, be housed from the elements, two, have access to computers, Wi-Fi, and cell service. The vehicle that they were using was a used vehicle that was used for essentially mobile mammography, and ultimately the way that vehicle was actually outfitted precluded the officers from getting some services, including the Wi-Fi for the computer and the internet services. So this vehicle is going to be used in that aspect. When we have any type of crisis intervention, that vehicle will be dispatched to the scene. It would be basically a home base for the crisis negotiators. That's on that. So thank you very much. I know that resolution was passed. I just wanted to give everyone insight on what that was for. The other thing, Mr. Coursey brought up the incident in the jail and how people were, looking for information. I know when we were contacted by private and public as well as the media, our investigation was pending, and there was an ongoing investigation. So I actually instructed our office not to make any comment at that point. But I can tell you, we actually just released, while I've been on the webinar with you guys, we're actually charging the assailant. There was another inmate in the jail with attempted murder, and that press release literally just went out within the last few minutes. So we reacted, we investigated, we did interviews. I actually personally reviewed the video from the jail, and Mr. Bergman, my first assistant, and I authorized the charges for attempted murder, and that those charges will be filed. The gentleman who committed the alleged assault is taken into custody, and he remains in custody, and it's being investigated by our major crimes unit. So we're on top of it. We know what happened. We saw the video, and we're working diligently to bring that person to justice and give the victim's family justice as well.
Thank you very much, Prosecutor. But I also, want to thank you for the awareness that you're bringing to the mental health and the crisis that we have. But you're not just bringing the awareness, you're out there being active and proactive in helping, these individuals that need it.
And I just want the prosecutor to know that both Officer Robinson and Mike Kelly, or the warden, basically told them that it's under investigation by the prosecutor, but answered, how was he doing it? Stuff that they could answer legitimately.
Yes.
Nothing to investigations. And I just want,
Sure.
I want you to know that. Great.
But your updates and coming here are very, very much appreciated and keeping us in the loop. So thank you.
Yep, it's my pleasure, and I look forward to having a great working relationship with you guys. We're actually already preparing for our budget proposal of, coming into the new year, and I'm cognizant of how difficult all of our jobs are. We're here to serve the community and the citizens and do our best to get them the best bang for the buck and have to be able to answer for why we're spending money to do the jobs that we're doing. So I'm cognizant of that, and I appreciate the opportunity, and that's why I stayed on, because I wanted to explain to the public and all of you exactly what's going on in our office and our organization, because we're funded by you, and I'm aware of that. So thank you.
Thank you. And to bring up the budget, yeah.
I know. Just Mr. Prosecutor, I know you also
Yes.
just made an announcement on your new kind of leadership team. Did you want to highlight that while you have the floor?
Absolutely. Thank you. I
You
appreciate it.
exceeded
So,
your 3 minutes, but you the prosecutor.
Thanks, Mr. Corsi. I appreciate it. So ultimately, what we did was, when I was named acting prosecutor on June 6th, I really went in and got my feet wet, hit the ground running, figured out, who the leaders were and who were the people that could really impart their institutional knowledge and awareness to me. And I surrounded myself with a lot of really good people, and I'm proud to say this, and we actually announced some more promotions today. I'm proud to say this, that every single person that's been promoted to part of my executive leadership team, as well as the chief assistant prosecutors, have all come from inside the organization. I did not bring a single person from outside, supplanting anyone who's had years and years of service in the county and in that organization. The first assistant's Mr. Bergman, Ventnor born and raised. Executive assistant is Mr. McKelvey, raising his family in Northfield. Clerked for Judge Donio, who was the presiding criminal court judge at the time when Mr. McKelvey clerked for him, as well as Ray Royster, who was a victim witness advocate. He's my director of community outreach. Ray is all over the county. He's at every single event. He's working tirelessly to bring awareness to both our office and our special needs registry. We were only the 7th county-wide registry in the entire United States, and Ray was the gentleman who set that up for our office. And then Trish Hayek is now running victim witness advocate. She's been in the office for 23 years, also another Atlantic County native. And then finally, Deputy Chief of Detectives Pat Snyder, brigantine guy, raising his family in Absecon. All people that have been in the office. And then the other ones that we actually announced today were 3 chief assistant prosecutors. All 3 were females. Allison Island is now the chief of guns, gangs, and narcotics. She is tired. She's pregnant with twins and was in the office till 1 o'clock in the morning the other night. That's how dedicated Allison is. Our chief of grand jury is Erica Haleko. Erica, also lifelong career prosecutor from our office, very hard worker. And then our final chief AP that was promoted is Kate Robinson. She is now the chief of our trial teams. Kate, again, very hard worker, there first thing in the morning and leaves late at night. Very, very pleased by the team that we've surrounded ourselves with, and their knowledge and ability to actually communicate and share the information they know from their career-long journey in the prosecutor's office has been a great help. So thank you for that opportunity, Commissioner Gatto. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor.
Madam Chair,
My pleasure.
before the prosecutor go, did you miss the Shields?
No, Bruce is still the chief. He's not promoted. These were only promotions. So Bruce is still the chief. Bruce still in that acting in that role as the chief. And in fact, Bruce is going to the Attorney General's office on Monday for us because we are the most successful in the community outreach and recovery aspect in the state. And Bruce is actually shooting a commercial with the Attorney General's office on Monday. And Bruce has been tremendous for me. Bruce is a legend, has 42 years experience in that office, and Bruce has been an absolute asset to me and in my administration since we started. Bruce has been awesome. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's a legend.
The legend, absolutely.
He's a legend.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
you're trying to follow right behind him, but he's a legend.
Again, thank you
Thanks for the
very
update.
much. Thank you very much.
My
Anybody else?
pleasure, and thank you guys. I appreciate it. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions.
Not today. You exceeded your time.
Okay.
Keep in line, Ernie. Keep in line.
That's it. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to log off. Thank you.
Thank you. You're the best.
right, bye-bye.
Okay. Anybody else from the public would like to come forward? Oh, seeing no one? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Whoa, I thought you was getting ready to speak.
No, moved.
No, sir. You speaking? You
It's open to the public.
Talking to the public. I don't think he heard you.
Oh, he didn't hear me?
That's why I was wondering, he was back there. like, he
Anybody
got-
else want to speak?
When he got up and the prosecutor superseded
Well,
him.
It sounded like you were asking the prosecutor, the TV, if anybody
Okay.
wanted to speak.
So,
Yeah.
okay, just state your name.
Jimmy Dinatel, living in Corbin Township, Long Lake resident. I would like to pass out some information today to the chairman and commissioners. Basically about some of the things that are going on over at the ACUA. Particularly, they did have a meeting September 15th about alternative waste solutions. I have a package here to show you. There is none. There was a bid nobody's talking about that was put out in May. They received one bid back from Waste Management. I have the bid results in here. Basically, if ACUA had a handle and charge on it, our first year out of this bid, the gate rate of the C&D would be at $151. By year 5, they're proposing to take out the C&D by truck, by the way, out to Harrisburg to $207, which is about 153% increase. I know this is the future, but nobody shows up to the county commissioner meetings. And I asked questions about this. I actually attended myself, and I brought up the bid, and it's basically nobody wants to discuss what's going to happen. Okay, if we sign this contract with Waste Management, we do have an alternative solution by rail. Everybody's talking green. You want to put solar up on some of these projects. I get it. Train would be the greenest way, carbon footprint. We moved everything that he wants to move to Harrisburg by truck. You're talking about a 30,000 ton carbon footprint compared to if we did the same amount by train. And then we don't want the MSW, which is the trash. We're looking to do the C&D, which I think everybody knows. You're talking about, 3,000 ton carbon footprint. So I would just like to pass this out, let you guys take a look at it. And you know what? I have one.
Keep one? Yeah.
Or
I don't want to steal your notes.
Oh, yeah. I do have one with notes.
All right, there you
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
I want that
It's basically the same thing you had. But I really appreciate it. I think there needs to be more discussion. Our project is coming back in for final planning board in Pleasantville. It was submitted, kickback for a couple items that were changing. I think we're addressing everything that ACUA had been discussing over the last 2 years: size, noise, dust. I think we came to some really great solutions for that. Truck traffic is what truck traffic is. But looking forward to coming back to you guys, SWAC, and moving our project forward. But I just want everybody to realize, and we're going to go back to each town with these same packages just to get the word out so everybody knows what this is going to do to your budgets. You're at a $25 million budget right now. Potentially in 5 years from now, you're looking in the $60 million range. It needs to be discussed. There needs to be a county plan. We want to be part of that county plan. Okay. I know the ACUA folks are not for our project, but I mean, I don't know if there could be an intermediary with somebody from, I know Denny's, kind of down and out, and I don't know if it's the chairwoman or Mr. Bertino, I think sits on that board for solid waste. But this stuff needs to be discussed, and it's going to wreck a lot of communities, if not the county, with that kind of increase. I mean, with the inflation and everything else that's going on, insurance is going up, fuel prices are going up, and that, just so everybody knows, is not picking up any trash. That is, or C&D. That is just transit disposal of that material. Okay, so you have a lot of other operations where we're figuring it's going to cost them, for scaling, loading, and processing, and running their facility as a whole. It's going to be kind of crazy. So we're going to keep in touch, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, just one, sir. Along your process, when do you think you'd be able to do, and I guess this would go through the chair, a informational presentation to our board as to, where you're at, what the plans are, because
We could do that.
I know there's been some things in Pleasantville, and some of us have went and others haven't. And I know a lot of things have changed since your meetings in Pleasantville.
Yep.
Some of the council was for it, and now they're not, and some weren't for it, and now they are. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. COVID came and went since, or came and is almost gone since, you started this idea, and we still don't, we don't see, any approvals yet for, your facility.
Yeah. So to your point, there's actually two projects going on at the same time on that piece of property. It's a 10-acre site. I would love to come back to you and do the whole PowerPoint of what the new place is going to look like. We're going to add on the MPX Iantis site, a 56,000 square foot building. The new building for the transfer station is about a 53,000 square foot building. Everything happens, scaling, untarping, everything happens inside the building. We've been sitting and digesting everything that everybody's comments from the community to the ACUA and to anybody that had issues with our project. And I think what we're submitting to the city of Pleasantville for final approval for planning board, we do, just so everybody understands, we have a 5-2 vote with a signed redevelopment agreement with the city. So that part of it's done. The only thing that we have left is we have to go back in front of planning board. It's what they call a by right. We're not asking for any zoning or planning board differences than what we agreed from the beginning. Saying that, I would love to come back in. Our process is to go to SWAP next,
Yeah.
and then
Which I'll defer
For you
to
guys.
any comments from Commissioner Fortino.
Just one, I think, with the Commissioner Bowser stating, once he has an actual project that's gone through the approval process in Pleasantville and everybody's had their say, and he actually has a facility that we could all talk about, that's the time for us to really talk about that.
Right.
Because there is a process, obviously, he's going through now. We don't want to interfere with what they're attempting to do until that's finalized. Looking forward to it.
so am I.
Makes sense.
I have one question. So when you do come back, this is all the outside bidders pricing information for 3 years, right? 24.
The green is waste management. There was only one bidder.
Okay, the green is waste management.
The blue is what we're figuring that the ACUA's costs are. Now that's to run their facility. They still have to scale the material, load the material, house the material to load it on tractor trailers to ship it to Harrisburg.
Right.
The red is the differential, and then the yellow is the total, starting their first year down to their 5th year. And what everybody has to understand, I mean, they put a press article out. I've asked the press let's talk about with the, and they said that they were shut down and they're not allowed to talk about it. But they did put an article out back in May about putting this bid out. Okay, but we haven't heard anything since. And that's why I just want everybody to, nobody wants to talk about it. It's coming. And we got maybe 4 years left, but it's going to happen, and that landfill's closing, and we're going to be at the mercy. It looks like just Waste Management.
So I was going to ask, when you do come back, can you provide a comparison of what the cost will be?
Oh, okay, yes, for sure.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else from the public would like to come forward with anything you would like to discuss with the commissioners? Anybody virtual that wants? Okay,
Madam Chair, before we do a motion for adjournment, through you to the county administrator again.
oh, I'm sorry, I said yes.
I'm waiting for you to say no. Jerry, and I'm sure all of my colleagues up here as well as everybody else, the biggest issue right now in the state of New Jersey is this healthcare benefit stuff. The healthcare benefit, as you know, there was a vote. Tuesday was a rally, then Wednesday apparently there was a vote. Some kind of way they came to a negotiation where state workers would do somewhere around 3-4%, somewhere there. I don't know the exact numbers. But the county and the municipal government agencies are going to be the ones hit the hardest. And so the point I'm raising is that it is amazing how we give people raises and they get kicked in their behinds on the back end of it because we take the raise from them and we raise the healthcare benefits on employees. And so they always come back, it cost me so much for healthcare. You gave me a little bit of raise, but you took it from me in health benefits. I know a few years ago, the city of Atlantic City, for an example, we had a different company. We switched over and went to the state health benefit because it was cheaper. Now it becomes the highest. So we're definitely out looking again to find another avenue. And the state itself did it right before new enrollment, open enrollment in October. So I've gotten called, I can't speak for nobody else, but I've gotten called from county employees as well as city employees about the healthcare benefits. And it's a shame. People work so hard to get that little bit of increase and you snatch it right from them. You pull out not you, but they just pull the rugs out from under them. And it's like you never get ahead. I don't know if it's the county's intent to look other places in terms of trying to find cheaper, not a cheap health care benefit, but a way to service its employees. That's something I think you might want to take a look at. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm asking you to do something.
Well, so, we got our claims. We had 3 agencies that we sent the claims to. And we're waiting for the responses.
Okay.
So that we have done that. So, yes. And we will have, just so you know, we will have meetings with at least 2 of the agencies. That's one I thought I clicked it off, so I'm not sure what happened. So it's just that ring. So I'm only telling you, yes, we are looking.
That was your signal. It's time to go.
That's probably Tammy telling me, don't say anything, Jeff.
No problem.
Stop.
So, actually, but there are at least 2 of the agencies have called. So you got to understand our claims use are very high.
I'd say, but
I've
raised that issue.
Claims use, I don't know what your claims use is. If you look at your claims use, you go out and you go out into the market. I can tell you that prior to this most recent, that's who
That's Denny call. No, that's definitely Denny call.
It's Tammy saying, Jerry, do not stop. Just so you know.
That was definitely Denny.
Yeah,
The different ring.
but it could be now. But anyway, yeah, we are looking. So three agencies are looking at it. We have Marsh McClellan.
Because I know it's a big issue, and I think everybody's hearing it. And the reason I brought that issue up, at the end of the day, if something's not done or can be a little bit better adjusted, you're going to see a mass exit everywhere, whether it's teachers, whether it's regular county employees, except police, fire. Folks are going to exit because they can't continue to get hit with these high premiums on healthcare. Where did it stop?
And you saw what the state did. The state put in money so that the increase to the employees is only 3%. You saw that. But they won't allow counties to do that. I mean, you gotta figure out how to do that. We are looking at options. I mean, Bonnie, Diana, myself, we've spoken to, Hudson County, the administrator there has told us, you know, they went ahead and they looked at several ways to reduce those costs. And we're looking at the potential whether or not we can do the same thing that they did. They have a lot more money than we have, but obviously, you know, they made it.
We on the city level is looking as well. We had a
Right.
thing in the lobby the other day, and we had a couple of people in there.
Right.
But I think it's a serious thing, and again, y'all, if you didn't get calls, you're gonna get calls from county employees, whether it's your public works guys, the county correction officers. Health benefits is no joke. It's the old adage, it's better to have it not need it, than to not have it, but.
Thanks for bringing it up.
That's
Commissioner.
that's what I emailed you about today too, Jerry.
Yeah.
Same topic. I just don't have an idea of what the extent of the magnitude is going to be for us.
Yeah. Well, we mean just a rough number. I mean, I give you a rough number. I mean, Bonnie will hit me in the head, but I mean, the rough number is roughly
Anybody,
24 million. The increase is probably, you know, anywhere between 20 and 25. I use 25 because it's a quarter. So you take a quarter on 24 million, it's roughly 6 million. So we're a little less than 6 million. That's a big number, and just in one line item. It's a very large number.
I'm sure that's a discussion we'll be having in the budget.
Yeah.
But, you know, to be updated, so thank you, Karen. Comments for the good of the order. I have Hurricane Fiona is a reminder to us, especially given that September is National Preparedness. It's important to make plans for your family as well as your pets. I'd invite everyone to take the time to visit the Atlantic County website and visit the readyatlantic.org page, which can be found under the public safety section. Anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
Madam Chair, before we leave, I have a question to you, or strike that through you to Jerry. We used to get that monthly newsletter, and Commissioner Fitzpatrick was talking about how we get the message out. Are we still using that method in terms of that newsletter? That's a part of another way to get our message out for the program.
You mean the county newsletter?
Yes.
Yes.
We still
Yes, it
do that?
comes out every day, actually, yeah, correct, yeah.
So that might
And
be
there
another
is-
message. to put that in.
There is, I don't know if Kara's still on, but there is a group that meets that deals with the issue that was raised by Commissioner Fitzpatrick. And that group is very good at getting that information out, you know, I used to attend years and years and years ago, but, you know, when I was doing that.
And you had time.
Right. But that group has been meeting for years, and they're very, very engaged in infant children's issues, and in particular infant mortality. That was a very large issue for a thing called the Kids Count issues. If you remember, we have it.
All right.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Motion for Dermot.
I'll entertain a motion for adjournment at this time.
Jerry, do I have anything else ready?
I have nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say.
Yep, I know.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks.
Very
We're now
appreciative.
adjourned. All those in favor? Aye.